So I think we have those player cards ready. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Liam Halliburton. He went 11-1-3 in Swiss. He won through the LCQ. He got into the LCQ into Worlds 2014.
He Yamato'd his way through the LCQ.
Yeah, really. And then he top 16 nationals last year, as in addition to a Worlds 42nd place. So pretty good resume there, improving on that top 16 from last year here with a finals appearance. And as you can see, he is playing the Darkrai Giratina deck. He's decided to play Garbodor with it. He has Latios EX. He has Tyrantrum. He has a few things, but he's just kind of playing the Darkrai Giratina. Interesting take on it, but nothing we haven't seen before.
Right. So this player did go from a top 16 national finish to a finalist. Well, actually, at least a finalist finish here in this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he could go from top 16 to national champion. We talked in the senior division. Patrick Martinez ended up top 8ing nationals,
right,
winning worlds, and then improving on that with at least a top 4. I don't know what ended up happening there, but in this,
I believe they actually play tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, they are playing tomorrow. Yeah.
That, or if not, then they're playing tonight, and who knows if they're done yet or not. But yeah, either way, we do have the following player card available for Travis Beckwith here.
Let's check out what Travis has got going on. Went 11-3-1.
Well, what a player card.
You know, not too many things to note on there. However, he did make top 4 of nationals last year as well, so he's improved on that. He's used to these lights. He's used to this stage, and he's playing the Genesect Bronzong, kind of what we call a metal deck. Again, a pretty standard build of it. He has kind of the same old tricks, Aegislash, Genesect, the other Bronzong. You know, just looks pretty standard. So this should be really interesting. There's a few interesting things going on in this matchup. I think the players are just about ready to get started.
Right.
So maybe we can head down there and then talk about the matchup while we start. So here we go, the finals.
There we go. The finals of the Junior Division National Championships. They are going to be between Liam Halliburton and Travis Beckwith. Liam is going to be playing that Darkrai Giratina Garbodor deck. It does feature a couple of extra tech cards, while Travis Beckwith is going to be playing Bronzong, otherwise known as the Metal deck, which features Genesect EX, and you know, it's kind of got a little bit of a mini toolbox on its own as well, having things like Aegislash against things that, you know, rely on double color synergies and whatnot. And something that might actually be pretty important is a Jirachi that it also plays, which fares pretty well against Giratina and anything else that might require double dragon energy.
Yeah, that Giratina Tyrantrum that Liam has a copy of in there, those two cards are very susceptible to Jirachi. Additionally, Aegislash EX is going to be able to kind of hate on that special energy as well.
Right.
Not so much on Tyrantrum because of the effect, but you know, anywhere else it is on the Giratinas or the Latioses. The big thing going into this match, though,
and there we go. The match does begin. There's a handshake to signal that that these players are about to begin.
Yeah, and like I was saying, the huge thing, which you can already just see immediately starting off in the active position for Liam, is that Trubbish. So Liam has chosen to play a 2-2 Garbodor line here, and that is going to be absolutely brutal for Travis. The Metal deck, all the synergies revolve around those abilities. Mostly Bronzong, you're needing the Metal links. That's that fuels your deck, but also Aegislash. Of course, he has Hoopa. It's just he's gonna be in a really tough position without these abilities.
Indeed. Now, because Liam gets to go first, that means his Trubbish will be able to evolve into a Garbodor before Travis gets access to too many turns. He'll only realistically get access to one turn if he does get that Garbodor on his following turn, and he already has a Float Stone to attach to his Trubbish.
Yeah, no, and this is really going to be the key to the matchup, I think. There's a few other things going on.
Already a double dragon energy on this Giratina as well. That puts a lot of pressure on him.
There's a Parallel City. Going to work on limiting Travis's bench space. But
Parallel City's actually pretty strong against Bronzong too.
Yeah, no, it's actually huge. You need, you know, you're relying on having 2 to 3 Bronzongs at a time. You want to have a Genesect. You want to have an Aegislash. You know, you want to have all these different things that you can kind of work with. And I do not believe that Travis, looking over his deck list, plays a counter stadium, so that's going to be there for the entire game.
Wow, there is no counter stadium. You're right. I was a little bit concerned about the fact that he might be playing it a little bit too early before he can choose to counter his opponent's, stadium and then force him into a decision where he might have to discard some Pokemon that he didn't want to discard. But either way, I guess if you can't counter it, then all of a sudden Travis is left with only 3 bench spots for the
Actually,
rest of the
no, we were wrong. He has 2 copies of Skyfield, which is a common, or not common, but it is something that's played. So he can kind of counter it, kind of doing the opposite thing, actually, Skyfield versus the Parallel City there.
Right.
But So he does have an opportunity to get that Parallel City out of the way, and he looks like there are 2 copies of Parallel City in Liam's deck, so it will be Travis who wins the kind of stadium battle, assuming that none are prize or anything like that happens.
Indeed. Now, while there's a little bit of downtime, I think it's kind of funny. We're used to seeing these player cards with such full names, right? And I was taken by surprise by Travis's short little player card, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, he's a junior. He actually might have only been playing for 1 or 2 years now.
Right.
So
they
that's
don't
still
physically
a great
have the
accomplishment,
time on
actually.
this earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Go figure. I guess I have a little bit of an edge when it comes to having played more Pokemon over him.
So the card that's going to be really important in the matchup here, and the card that's kind of been the huge story of Nationals, I think, was that card that Travis just played, Max Elixir. Unfortunately, Travis did miss. He
that has
looked at
also
top
been
6.
the story of Nationals.
Yeah, absolutely. he did miss. Did not see any metal energy in that top 6 cards. But I think if Travis is going to get ahead here, it's going to be from attaching metals and using Max Elixirs to kind of outspeed the Garbodor, right? If he can use those Max Elixirs to get a bunch of energy into play. I'm not going to say that he's going to be fine versus the Garbodor, but he will be at least in a better position where he won't rely on the ability so much in the early game.
Now, a Battle Compressor will find any 3 cards that Travis would like to discard and get them into the discard pile. He's going to choose a Metal Energy, which is usually the card that you want to choose, but he can also choose a lot of supporters that might be interesting against Liam here.
Yeah, so he does put the metal in there. That tells me that he doesn't have a Max Elixir. Like, he's not. I think if he had a Max Elixir in his hand, or if he had any way to kind of
Max Elixir first,
right? Yeah, he definitely would use a Max Elixir first. Additionally, if he had any way, like, he'd be doing everything he could to try and knock out this Trubbish here. It's very unlikely, but he would, leaving the Trubbish active there from Liam is kind of giving Travis a way out potentially. So he's going to go ahead, put the metal in the discard pile. That's still a resource for him. That's going to let him Metal Links it back with Bronzong once he gets those set up.
And now Versus Seeker will bring back that end that he just discarded with the Battle Compressor, and both players are going to get a brand new hand of 6. Will Travis get what he needs? I mean, honestly, he needs quite a few cards to be able to pull something like that off. And remember, he actually has no more bench space to work with until he finds a Skyfield.
Yeah, I think, the dream here is probably Max Elixir hit, Floatstone, retreat, knock out your Trubbish, play a Skyfield, put some more Bronzors down, but that's a lot to ask for, so we're going to have to see what happens with these 6 cards. We do see that Skyfield, but I don't think there's any other Pokemon to put into play for Travis anyway. Looks like he's considering playing it, but he's going to go ahead and attach a Fighting Fury Belt.
Fighting Fury Belt onto that Genesect is always pretty strong.
Yeah, just going to boost the Genesect all the way up to 220 HP, just make it an absolute monster.
Not even Tyrantrum would be able to knock that out.
Right. And I don't know what else Travis can have. Yeah, he's going to pass the turn.
Now, Liam, on the other hand, does have another double Dragon Energy on his Giratina, and he evolves into Garbodor. That's an incredible start here by Liam. He's going to be able to start taking over this game with his Giratina. And remember, now that Parallel City is going to be stuck in play for the remainder of the game as long as that Giratina keeps attacking.
Yeah, Chaos Wheel is not, going to do a whole lot here. There's no special energy. The tools aren't super important, but that stadium is going to be locked in now, and that might have been a small oversight by Travis, trying to just say, I wasn't too worried about that. However, Giratina also, is not going to attack for the rest of the game. It's not going to, leave Travis. It's not going to be the only attacker throughout the entire game, so he will probably get an opportunity to play that Skyfield at some point later.
Well, it has the potential to be the only attacker for the rest of the game. 100 damage per turn from here on out is very powerful. And now a Max Elixir is not Liam is not done with his turn. He does hit a Max Elixir, and now Liam actually has the opportunity to potentially get another Max Elixir onto this Darkrai. Now Darkrai is going to be dealing tons of damage.
Yeah, so he's trying to get the Max Elixir on the Darkrai. Again, Max Elixir is just the story of this tournament, right? We have seen, Max Elixir has been popular since it was released, but I feel like it really just has been breaking out through the national championships. It's such a powerful card. Players are starting to recognize just how, when you fill your decks with basic energy like this, we've got, 8 Darkness Energy in Liam's deck, 10 Metal in Travis's deck, can just be a card that allows for so many explosive early turns.
Does he find another Max Elixir? He does have a Trainer's Mail, but no, he just actually chooses to retreat into the Giratina. he had the opportunity to Max Elixir and actually bring up a Darkrai, which was going to start dealing heavy damage and keep the Giratina and those 2 Double Dragon energies kind of at bay and away from danger. But either way, how much danger can he really get into? The fact that he gets to lock this Parallel City in from here on out is going to be huge. A Lysander, though, from Travis does have the potential to turn this game around. Liam is now stuck with a Darkrai in his active spot that has no business being in the active spot.
Oh, wow, and Travis just has a Lysander out of desperation say, I'm going to try and stall for a while, bring up that Darkrai. It has to retreat. I'm going to go ahead and have to pass the turn with no plays.
Liam does play a Trainer's Mail. Which does he find? What he found? He found a Muscle Band with that Trainer's Mail, actually. I wonder how many more Float Stones he has. He has 2 more Float Stones in his deck.
I'm sure he has an AZ as well. He has actually a Cassius.
He has a Cassius and 2 more Float Stones.
He can get out of this.
And an Escape Rope, actually.
Attach and pass. Travis draws.
Oh, yeah, he can play that Skyfield because there was no Chaos Wheel last turn. He immediately plays that Skyfield.
Okay, so that's a good sign. It was less of a desperation move by Travis there and more of just, I need to be able to play the Skyfield. I need to get your Giratina out of the active position. He did have the N. He topped like a Bronzong, I saw. So he did have the N, was holding it. He just kind of decided to take the turn off. Never what you really want to do, but it also didn't end up, it's not like Liam got super ahead there. All he did was attach for the turn.
There was a sleeve getting ripped there, so we have to fix that real quick. And when we do, he will start shuffling and drawing 6 cards for that end that he played.
Yeah,
now that was a powerful move, but remember, Liam had so many cards that could have actually just turned that game around right there. He could have hit the Escape Rope. He could have had the Cassius. He could have had both other Float Stones. There were so many cards that would have just let Liam knock out that Genesect, or at the very least bring that Darkrai to the bench.
Yeah, and that's a really smart move by Travis. I think he just he understood that it wasn't going to be a super aggressive play. It was just something where he said, I need to do this. If I get punished for it, there's nothing else I can really do. I need certain things to happen that will allow me to win the game further down the line.
Right. Now Travis does play additional energy onto that Genesect on the bench.
Now he's trying to decide what to discard with that Ultra Ball. He had a Startling Megaphone and a Shaman. Decided to discard the Bronzong. So it's kind of an interesting choice there. The Startling Megaphone is obviously going to be huge versus this Garbodor, but there's only so many that you can really. There's only so much that you can really do. He only has 1 copy of the Startling Megaphone, and Liam certainly has more tools. So he really wants to use the Startling Megaphone at a time where he can hopefully knock out the Garbodor,
right,
or at the very least set a lot of things up.
Now we do see our first Bronzong of the game here from Travis. No doubt will he start trying to get as many Metal Links as possible down onto this Genesect.
Yeah, Metal Links is just an incredible ability. It's what makes this whole entire deck work. Energy Acceleration is always just such a huge factor in the Pokemon trading card game, and this is no different. There's a
Startling Megaphone does get rid of that that Float Stone on that Bronzong, which means, or on the Garbodor, which means that he's now able to actually Shaman here. 6 new cards. Max Elixir.
2 Max Elixirs, actually. But he don't think he has a way to get the active Genesect out of the active position.
Been the tale of the game so far for him. And at least he'll be able to start powering up this Genesect on the bench. He's got so much damage output potential. He's just got to be able to start attacking with it, right?
Yeah, he just Metal Links onto it, and I think he's going to pass. He can play the other cards in his hand, but he has no way to get the Genesect out of the active, unfortunately.
And that's quite all right. I mean, so be it. You're actually playing the long game a little bit better than your opponent is. And there is a Max Elixir. Might as well. He hits it right away, but he's still going to look through the deck.
Here's a big Max Elixir. He hits it right away, but I don't know how many deck searches he's done. He's going to go ahead, hit the metal, attach it to the Genesect.
That Genesect's getting pretty beefy, man. That Genesect is getting to the point where it's going to start being able to knock out anything. Actually, it is at the point where it's able to knock out anything.
So Genesect's not a small Pokemon, that's for sure.
Now, at this point, if he can't get that Genesect to the bench, will Liam? I mean, Liam has to knock out that active Genesect, right? He's got to start taking some prizes here.
Yeah, if there's a way that Liam can find to, like Lysander knock out the Genesect on the bench, that's obviously going to be huge for him, but I'm not sure how realistic that
Darkness
is.
Energy does come down onto this active Darkrai, so Darkrai will be able to start knocking out these Pokemon from here on out.
Yeah, so he'd actually only need, if he can get rid of the Fighting Fury Belt, he'd only need one more energy attachment to anywhere on the board, one more Darkness Energy to knock out the Genesect, the bench Genesect rather, if he can get rid of the Fury Belt and has a Lysander, which would maybe actually would be absolutely huge.
He does have a Max Elixir here. Max Elixir can get another Darkness Energy into play. That's going to be heavy, heavy damage.
Yeah, that was a great hit there. I mean, he's getting, even if he doesn't manage to...
I believe he's at 190, right?
Yeah, he has the knockout as long as he can remove the Fighting Fury Belt.
Right.
But even if he doesn't, like, that's, obviously kind of the dream. But even if he doesn't, he's just getting his board set up. I mean, look, we have the Giratina fully powered. We have a Darkrai with we have two Darkrai fully set up, ready to attack with Dark Pulse. We have plenty of Darkness Energy on the board. It's just a great, great spot for him to be in. And there's the Float Zone on the Garbodor, reestablishing the Garbotoxin lock.
Right now, I want to see a Parallel City from Liam really badly here. If he can bring down another Parallel City, then he's going to put a lot of pressure onto Travis here to find his final stadium.
Yeah, he did have the Parallel City in his hand and chose not to play it. I think at this point with the Parallel City, Travis would just discard both Shaymins, and so Liam may be in a position where he's saying, hey, I'm just going to take some quick prizes off these Shaymins.
At the same time, though, he would be left with just two Bronzongs and a Aegislash, and actually the Aegislash would be pretty good here. There is no Tyrantrum in play.
Another Max Elixir by Travis is going to go ahead and hit a Metal Energy. And he's going to go ahead and attach it.
Attaches it to the Max Elixir.
Not quite.
Well played.
Getting that Aegislash set up. Aegislash's ability actually, no, the ability's turned off because of Garbotoxin, right?
Right.
Yeah, this is, like I said, the Garbotoxin is just absolutely huge here. We talked all weekend, actually. Yesterday, you and I spent a lot of time talking about, turning off abilities via Hex Maniac or Garbotoxin just being kind of so big in this format currently, right? We're seeing...
Well, he had the Starling Megaphone there for that one turn, right? And then... Well, there's actually a Lysander. Lysandering up that Garbodor. That's exactly what he had to do. He's going to be able to start knocking out this Garbodor. And from here on out, unless Liam can reestablish another Garbodor, he's going to be able to start Metal Linksing finally.
Yeah, it looks like Travis accidentally took two prizes off the
Garbodor is strong, but it's no EX.
Yeah, not quite. But yeah, you were absolutely right. Liam is going to have to try and establish another Garbodor. He does play a 2-2 line. I'm not sure if he's prizing the Urinary or his discard pile or anything, but that's going to be definitely a priority for him, is to just try and get that Garbodor back up and, just try and slow down Travis as much as possible. And it looks like that issue has been resolved, and Liam is going to continue on with his turn.
Okay, so now if Liam cannot establish a Garbodor, he's going to start facing down a lot of damage here from Genesect. Liam does want to get that Garbodor into play, but he is quite a bit ahead in prizes. He might just be able to finish this game off before it actually ends up battering.
Yeah, and we see he just attaches the Double Dragon to the Tyrantrum there.
There's that Tyrantrum, which is exactly what you want to be seeing against the Aegislash.
That's just going to allow him to actually just knock out the Genesect, because it's going to do 220 off the each Double Dragon counts as 40 damage essentially for Dark Pulse, and so that's a
down goes that Genesect.
That's a way to
Genesect
knock out
does
a
go
Genesect.
down. And that's going to be two more prizes taken by Liam. Liam is down to one final prize here in order for him to win game one.
The judge has to check, like, whoa, that's insane.
Is that really?
220.
And now another Sycamore here from Travis. Travis is going to need to top deck pretty heavily in order to get himself back into this game. That bronze, even losing that Bronzor will end the game here.
They're going to evolve to Bronzong break.
Another Genesect.
Fury Belt on the Genesect, but
he desperately needs to get some of these energies out of the play area. With Darkrai dealing so much damage, you really don't stand a chance. I mean, you need to be able to knock these things out.
Yeah, this is why the combination of these Dragon Pokemon requiring that Double Dragon energy with Darkrai, which is a great combination. And it looks like Liam Halliburton takes game one.
Liam Halliburton does indeed take game one against Travis Beckwith. Travis did not find what he needed, and honestly, this is starting to feel like it's going to be an uphill battle for Travis. Travis is struggling to find any type of momentum once Liam establishes these Garbodors.
Yeah, that's the Garbodor this is kind of the perfect storm for Liam. The Garbodor is going to turn off all the abilities for Travis, so no more Metal Links, which is really what makes your deck tick, right? And then also, the metal decks are used to having these kind of big Pokemon that are one-shotting everything, or even just two-shotting, but they're just kind of big. Aegis-Slash is preventing being attacked from special energies, but guess what? With Garbodor, that's turned off. And as we saw, Liam hit some Max Elixirs. He had a pretty good setup, but it wasn't outrageous, and he was still able to pretty easily, knock out a Genesect with a Fighting Fury belt.
Right. Giratina came out with double Dragon Energies, well, two double Dragon Energies right away, and that put some pressure onto Travis. Remember, Travis's hand was not very stellar at the beginning, and I think that's really what started turning the tide. The fact that Travis was just on the back foot from the very beginning, seeing a turn 2 Garbodor with a Floatstone attached to it, not being able to deal with it. He played his Bronzong, but he was not able to Metal Links pretty much all game. You only have one starting Megaphone in this deck, and when you play it, you really need to take full advantage of it.
Yeah, definitely. And he does have. It's luckily for him, if he can get the energy set up with some Max Elixir, it is pretty easy for him to get a KO on a Garbodor, assuming he can find it. But again, it's something he has to go and he has to. Okay, I'm going to use my resources. I'm going to use my turn. I'm going to use this energy to knock out a Garbodor, and then look what happened. Immediately, he just got revenge KO'd.
And now we do have an Yveltal EX start against the Bronzor. Now, with Travis being able to go first, now it's Travis who's going to be able to evolve first. And Travis might be able to start getting a couple of Metal Links off before Liam can even evolve into a Garbodor.
Yeah, going first is definitely a big game in any deck that requires evolution. Even things like Max Elixir too, just kind of Travis wants to establish as much of a board seat as possible before that Garbodor comes down.
A Hoopa EX is found here with the Ultra Ball. Hoopa is one of the stronger Pokemon here, especially on the first turn, because it allows you to find multiple EXs. And it looks like so far we see a Genesect and a Shaman. The third Pokemon could be pretty much anything, and it's going to be another Genesect.
Yeah, so Hoopa, I mean, just a staple Pokemon in all of these decks that are running heavy counts of EXs. We're going to go ahead and search your deck for 3 cards, and Travis is well on his way.
We do see a Max Elixir also in Travis's hand, so obviously he's not going to Max Elixir onto that Hoopa, but if he can start Max Elixiring onto one of these Genesects, he could put a lot of early pressure on Liam, and that's really what Travis wants to do here. If he can put enough pressure on Liam to where Garbodor just isn't enough to really stop him, then all of a sudden Travis is going to be able to see himself pull even in this matchup.
Travis almost lived the dream there. He looked, drew one card, drew another, saw the metal, almost just slammed the metal and shuffled, which I always support doing, but he did the conservative thing. He did the right thing and, looked what else was in his deck, and I can't blame him for that.
Conservative play.
I just want to see some style points,
I guess you're not a liberal.
So he does hit that Max Elixir there.
Shaman here is going to draw him 4 more cards. He continues his first turn, his powerful first turn. And we do see a Battle Compressor as well as another Bronzor. And actually a Level Ball as well. So this is actually starting to set up Travis pretty solidly. But instead of doing anything else, he just decides to play the Bronzor and play an N.
Yep, so Travis's bench is full now. He has 2 Bronzors. Looking to be Bronzongs, although that one active is probably not long for this world. 2 energy on the board, on the first turn is pretty good, and after this end, he's just going to be looking to capitalize on that. He's going to be looking to play more Max Elixirs, and just hopefully, like we said, have an answer. I know we're harping on it, but just have an answer to that Garbodor before it becomes an issue.
I know we're harping on it.
It's the most important thing in the matchup.
Well, indeed. I mean, that's really the battle here. There's some matchups which have stadium battles, and it's all about controlling the final stadium. There's some matchups that have, attack battles where you would just want to be the first one to attack and take a first prize. This one's got the Garbodor versus Bronzong battle, and that's who can Garbodor stop Bronzong from using too many Metal Links abilities.
Another Max Elixir, another hit as that Genesect gets loaded up with 3 Metal Energy on the very first turn. Max Elixir, man.
That is one strong Genesect, man. Max Elixir, can he find the way to get that Bronzor to the bench? I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it. I think he's just going to have to go ahead and pass the turn.
I mean, he wouldn't be able to attack anyways, obviously, but at the same time, you weren't particularly comfortable with having just the Bronzor on the active spot.
At this point, you're just going to have to live with it. The Bronzor's probably...
Trainer's Mill misses here for Liam. Things seem to be going kind of the opposite direction of the first game.
Yeah, I mean, it's very early in the turn, but going first is pretty huge for Travis. Look at the board, right? He went first, and obviously these are the kind of things that Max Elixir allows. But even just going first and having the ability to play your Bronzors first, play all these cards first, is going to be huge.
Liam has access to an Ultra Ball, which is going to find him a Shaman, and now this Shaman's going to be able to draw him additional cards. But will he play any cards before he does so?
Looks like he has 2 cards.
He'd probably be able to Shaman for 3 right about now. But no, he actually plays a Latios first and a Floatstone. That's going to give him a Shaman for 5 here if he decides not to play the Parallel City here. I don't see why you wouldn't. Yep, plays the Parallel City, and down go these useless Pokemon.
Yeah,
but more importantly,
not huge losses there, but locking down the bench can be very important, especially if he's able to knock out this active Bronzor. It will leave Travis with only one, slot available for Bronzors, unless he can remove the stadium.
He does attach a Double Dragon Energy to his Latios, and discards more cards for these probably Shamans again, or probably another Shaman. Yeah, there's another Shaman. Will he play it immediately? Looks like it.
Yeah, so that's 2 Max Elixirs down for Liam. He's discarded both of them off of Ultra Ball, so definitely going to be a little bit less explosive here in that. Going to be a little bit less explosive here in that regard, but which could end up mattering.
A muscle band here. That muscle band was really big. That muscle band's going to allow him to start attacking with this Latios, and down goes that Bronzor. Like we said, if he would have found a way to get that Bronzor into the bench, I would have felt a little bit more comfortable about his position. But the fact that that Bronzor just couldn't get retreated ends up getting Travis a little bit punished here, because Liam did find not only the Double Dragon Energy, but the muscle band.
I just want to say how thankful I am that we finally got a Latios attack. It wasn't a donk, but I've just been teased so much. There's been so many Latioses in the feature match area, and none of them has done a single thing as far as knocking out a little basic Pokemon, and I'll take what I can get at this point.
Latios does tend to lose a lot of its power when it doesn't, get early knockouts. So getting an early knockout here at least makes it very worthwhile. And if he can get it somehow onto the bench after it's done being useful, then at least it'll still maintain its Double Dragon Energy and provide additional power for these Darkrai's. Now, actually, if you take a look at Liam's bench, it's not particularly powerful. You have a couple of Shamans. You have an Yveltal EX, which isn't exactly the greatest Pokemon in the world in this format, or in this matchup or format. You also have a Latios active and a Trubbish, which is actually a pretty good card. But you only have one additional bench spot left, and you have no Tyrantrum in play. You have no Darkrai in play. You have no Giratina in play. These are attackers that you tend to be a little more comfortable attacking with.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Additionally, it's going to be interesting because, Travis is going to be able to take a knockout this turn, and he's going to leave, if he wants it, and he's going to leave Liam with no energy in play. And we saw, I believe Liam does have a Garbodor in hand, not sure about the tool, but we saw him discard, like I said, those 2 Max Elixirs, so it's very possible that even through getting a Garbodor, if Travis can immediately deal with it, Liam just won't have an explosive enough start to keep up with the Metal Deck.
Skyfield does counter that Parallel City, which means Travis is going to be able to start playing additional Pokemon onto his bench.
You guys going to go ahead and get a Bronzong off that level ball and start getting set up. I mean, things are really going Travis's way here. Liam does have that Garbodor. That's going to be, again, just kind of the key to the matchup. However, Travis is doing everything in his power to make sure that's not too big of a deal. And we see how big of a deal going first was, too.
Yeah, going first is always a pretty big advantage, but it's especially a bigger advantage in this specific matchup.
There's Metal Links.
Not Giratina, but Genesect does get another energy onto it due to that Metal Link's ability. And now he discards all 3 energies in order to be able to knock out this Latios. He does not want it to survive another turn. He wants to just knock it out, but it will come at a pretty hefty cost.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know that your opponent has the Garbodor. You have to take the knockout. You can leave them without any energy on the board. I think that's completely the right play from Travis. He's going to have to get rid of...
That's a big Sycamore here. That's going to be another Max Elixir gone, I believe.
I do respect Liam for he almost played his non-reverse foil Garbodor, and then he said, nah, wait, and he slid through his hand and played the foil one just for style points. So
Kenny Wisdom,
can definitely appreciate that. But as I was saying, even with the having to discard all the energy on the Genesect, even if Liam is able to get the tool on the Garbodor, Travis already has 2 energy on the Genesect, and it looks like Liam's going to go ahead and concede, and we're moving to Game 3.
That is very honorable of these players. They concede as soon as they realize that odds are against them in this particular situation. They have plenty of time to go, by the way. Maybe they're used to the 50-minute time limits. Maybe they don't like playing out situations where things just don't look very good for them, and they'd rather keep a cool head. There's plenty of reasons to want to concede early, but either way, they are going to be going down to a final Game 3, and the winner of this final game is going to become the Junior Division Final champion. Yeah, the Junior Division Final.
The Junior Division Final. I'm willing to bet that Liam's concession there is mostly encouraged from what was in his prizes. I'm willing to bet he was looking through his deck and was just like, oh well, my prizes are in such a manner that I just don't think I can win here. Gonna save some time. Gonna go to a game 3, and this is really exactly what you want, right? As a viewer, seeing the finals of nationals, and going to a game 3. We've seen two, I'm gonna just say it, two pretty lopsided games, but we're in a game 3 situation. 47 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time to finish this out, and let's see what happens here.
These players are definitely not Masters Division players because they don't take.
Because they're in the junior division.
You're
correct.
Well, they don't take 10 minutes to also complete a first turn either. Lots of differences between junior division players and Master Division players. I'm noticing.
Kids have energy, man. I'll tell you that much. Does that make us old by saying that?
Oh, dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. I feel old every time I wake up in the morning. My legs hurt every time I jump up. Nope. Travis and Liam, one more game to determine the winner. Travis did go first in this last game, which means that Liam is likely going to be choosing to go first in this final game. We saw how explosive a start he can get. We saw how getting a Garbodor into play on the second turn just ended up shutting Travis completely down. Can he pull something similar to that off?
We're going to have to figure it out as Travis goes for a mulligan.
Travis did indeed mulligan, and he's going to be going down to 7 new cards, but that's going to give Liam an additional card.
Yeah, giving Liam a new card to work with. He's going first. He's going to be able to immediately get an advantage off of that. Always an advantage for you.
Now remember, these players are playing one final game for a $5,000 award difference. That's an insane difference for one final game. The pressure would normally be on for a lot of Masters Division players. I doubt these guys have too much pressure on their minds. These guys look like they're having a lot of fun, enjoying each other, having a lot of chit-chat, just taking in the moment, because who knows when you'll be in another national finals again.
That's what Pokemon's about, man. You're going to have fun. I will say that, in addition to the $5,000 they're playing for, they're also playing for hundreds of championship points, which I don't exactly know what either of these players are at as far as that goes, but I got to bet that 400 or 500 is going to launch them into that top 16 status.
Now, before we begin this final game, or as we begin this final game, please keep in mind, guys, #PlayPokemon is how you keep in touch with all of us here and all the other Pokemon fans. #PlayPokemon on Twitter. Make sure you guys tweet about it. If you guys are enjoying it, tell us who you feel is going to be winning. Is it going to be Liam Halliburton with his Darkrai, Garbodor, Giratina toolbox deck, basically, against Travis Beckwith playing the metal deck that we have been talking about pretty much all weekend?
Yeah, the metal deck definitely performed under expectation, at least for me personally. We had a lot of conversations.
But we've still been talking about it.
We had a lot of conversations both on camera and off about how I thought the metal deck was really well positioned and was one of the best decks going into this tournament. And, maybe the Masters division didn't exactly break that way, but Travis is keeping the metal dream alive here in the junior division.
Indeed he is. So remember, guys, not only the #PlayPokemon, but make sure you guys are tuning into us on Pokemon.com/live. And that's a way for you guys to keep in mind or realize that you also have tons of stuff still coming on tomorrow morning.
Max Elixir hits a basic darkness. They're going to attach that to the Darkrai, and it looks like a pretty reasonable start from Liam here. He has a Sycamore in his hand, is going to go ahead and just discard that Garbodor.
This is reminiscent of
2/2 line.
Reminiscent of Game 1 here. If he plays a double Dragon Energy onto that Giratina, it's going to be very, very similar to Game 1.
And Liam did draw the Garbodor there, and he's just going to have to ship the turn back to Travis. There's a Skyfield
right away from Travis. And an N. Now remember, his biggest fear is that his opponent is going to get a Garbodor into play before he can start Metal Linksing enough energy into play. We saw how if he has enough energy on his side of the field, he can start one-hit KOing these big attackers from Liam. And that's how he just takes over this game, because he just takes too many prize cards before his opponent can do anything about him. And can he do it again, or will Liam find the Garbodor on his following turn? That's really the question that we're seeing here.
Well, and unless Liam draws a particularly bad hand off of this end here, I'm going to be willing to bet that that's what happens. The Garbodor's going to come out before Metal Links can really start, because, look at Travis's board. He can, even if he plays the Bronzors here, he cannot start evolving until the next turn, which is one of the huge disadvantages, I guess, of going second here.
Yeah,
and it looks like Travis is going to pass the turn
Travis just passes the turn. He
back.
doesn't draw very well off this. He hits Liam hits a Floatstone, hits a Muscle Band, and now a Trainer's Mail. Trainer's Mail does miss, though. Does Liam have what it takes to get a Garbodor into play, or at least, well, forget about at least, or start attacking here? You want to put enough pressure on Travis to where you only give him 1 or 2 turns to top deck here.
Looks like Liam's only supporter there is an N, which he's going to be fine firing off as he does just now. Um, you know, Travis's hand was he only did nothing after that supporter, so there's nothing to say. He doesn't have another one.
Right.
So smart play by Liam there, playing the end, resetting both players to 6 cards.
So because Travis is going to get 6 new cards, we know that he didn't have any basic Pokemon before. Will he be able to find any additional basic Pokemon now? It seems likely, but if he doesn't, then Liam is going to be in excellent position here to just win this game in the next couple of turns.
It would take an extreme amount of stuff to go right for Liam for him to be able to knock out this Genesect here, but he is going to want to find that Garbodor if possible. I assume that was an Ultra Ball there. Travis responds to the Ultra Ball with a sigh and turns his chair and looks away, and looks like there's that.
He was hoping for the dream. I mean, you can't really blame him. He hadn't seen a Garbodor yet.
Yeah, it looks like he almost grabbed a Trubbish there. You know, they look pretty similar because they evolve from one another. Who would have guessed?
Honest mistake.
Because going to go ahead and grab that Garbodor. And now Garbotoxin is active.
Yeah, that was an honest mistake there by Liam. Good on Travis to just let it slide.
Liam just wants to play on hard mode.
Now, will Travis be able to find a way out of this one? Remember, not only is he behind in the Garbodor versus Bronzong war, but he's also super behind in the Energy war as well.
Yeah, and he plays a Bronzor and a Jirachi onto the bench as well as that Genesect, and looks like he does have some more options. He has an Ultra Ball in his hand, I think. He's going to go ahead and pass the turn back. There's a Dark Energy onto the Darkrai there.
The Darkrai is now starting to deal very reasonable amounts of damage, and he's going to be able to knock out the Genesect in 2 hits.
And doing 120 there. Plays another Genesect onto the bench. Evolves to Bronzong, but just has to pass. You can tell in Travis's body language he is not enjoying what's happening here. You know,
you can't really blame the poor guy.
Oh no, I mean Garbotoxin is just absolutely the key to the matchup, and you know everything is just going Liam's way at this point.
Liam doesn't particularly need anything else. He just wants to keep this this advantage going. Remember, now Travis is left with 0 energy in play. Travis hoped for the best when it came to attaching the energy to the active Genesect. He said, you know what, if I can just survive one more turn, I'm going to be able to potentially knock out this Darkrai. That's going to give me the best possible chance I have of winning this game, so forget it. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Metal Energy off the top for Travis gets attached to the Jirachi, just a Stardust for 10, and it's not discarding any special energy, so there's going to be no protective effects there, just dealing 10 damage. Metal Energy not helping him too much.
Jirachi is a powerful attacker against people that have special energies attached to them, not so much against Darkrai.
And not so much against basic Darks, and Liam's going to go ahead and take the prize. Genesect gets promoted for Travis. The draw is yet another basic Metal Energy. Attaches to the bench, and we're going to see a pass here. And it looks like unless something unreal happens, it looks like Liam is just going to be able to take this game and become national champion. He Versus Seekers for Professor Sycamore there.
I like what Liam's doing here. He's just making sure that he continues a stream of energy and attackers. If he can keep doing that, then it's going to be very difficult for Travis to come back, because an N won't be able to help you if your opponent has too many attackers ready, you know?
I mean, Liam's doing everything absolutely right here. You know, he's in a spot where he is so far ahead. He's, you know, very, very likely to win this match, but he's still playing out his turns. He's still carefully
considering everything. Genesect is going to go down here. That's going to be one more prize remaining here for Liam. Will he be able to get the final prize and become the national champion? Travis has one more turn to find something.
The draw was a basic Metal Energy.
He does have an Ultra Ball. But remember, he can't even shame in here because of that Garbodor. He just attaches passes. All Liam has to do is attack here and win.
And there's the handshake.
Sure enough, Liam does attack. Travis does concede. Handshake happens. Travis Beckwith does fall 2-1 against Liam Halliburton.
Liam Halliburton is your 2016 Pokemon Trading Card Game Junior Division National Champion. Congratulations to him.